my name is Ruth Nyambura from Nairobi, Kenya, and it's such a privilege for me to be here in this space, honoring all our heroes, environmental heroes. We remember that, as Aaron Dachiros says, real resistance has real consequences, and this have been the consequences for our heroes: death, maiming, murder. And we have to remember that climate justice, environmental justice, we all have to fight for it. We have already our heroes who have fought for it under, very, very difficult circumstances. And I hope you come later on today to, honoring our heroes this evening in the fight for climate justice. Thank you.
As we are here at this global climate negotiation, COP27, we must leave the legacy of our indigenous peoples, human rights defenders. We must be more radical, more militant in fighting for our land, territories, and resources. We must not stop our fight to protect our distinct identity as indigenous peoples.
Hi people, everybody can know that our elders fighting for us, they have struggled, they do a very bad thing, but now pass on. Those who are killed, now we have to remember them. Particularly those who you have here, I remember Ken Sarawa Ogoni, who is very old from Nigeria. I remember when he was killed. I invite everybody to remember them and also to make a good connection with them and the nature. Be great, and now we are together, a strong continue.
Hi, today is International Peoples Heroes Day. Such an important day to commemorate and honor the indigenous leaders and fighters who lost because of their fight against protecting the planet. And we want to honor them today. And today is also because this is the anniversary of the murder of Ken Saro-Wiwa, who is trying to fight to stop a huge oil international company from polluting and killing people in his community. I remember when I was little, I actually worked on a campaign writing letters to the government to stop the pollution and support him. And I remember when he was murdered, it was a really shocking and sad thing. And it's part of going to be my activation into standing up for our planet. People like Ken Saro-Wiwa can do that as well. And I also remember people like Bertha, who fought so hard to protect her river from hydropower dams and her indigenous community. Indigenous people are some of the most important environmental leaders. They represent only 5% of the world's population, but protect over 80% of the world's biodiversity. It is so essential that we get behind indigenous leaders and we support their rights and we fight to protect them as well. They die at such disproportional rates because of the bravery and the protection that they are for our planet, our collective. So please join me in honoring Indigenous leaders on Indigenous Peoples Heroes Day.
On Indigenous Peoples Heroes Day, we at Ibon International join IPMSDL and social movements around the world in commemorating the legacy of Indigenous peoples who dedicated their lives in defense of their land and communities. We cherish the memory of IP heroes such as Berta Cáceres of the Lenca Indigenous Peoples in Honduras and Leticia Tining Bulaat of the Nanay Indigenous People in the Philippines, both of whom have successfully led their communities in resisting the construction of World Bank-funded mega dams that threaten to destroy their land, livelihoods, and culture. We stand in solidarity with the Indigenous peoples' continuing struggle for land and self-determination against land grabbing, plunder, and exploitation driven by neo-colonial and monopoly capitalist interests. Amid the ongoing climate negotiations at COP27 in Sharm El Sheikh, Egypt, we join social movements and IP organizations in fighting for IP rights as a basic condition for climate and social justice. Stop the attacks on Indigenous peoples, long live the legacy of Indigenous heroes, and climate imperialism.